Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. I'm Juntar Hanogu, and today, if you couldn't guess by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about wrong words. Now, just to clarify a few things, yes, I am in a different location. This is that couch I've been sitting on before, except for this time I'm going to try using a tripod for it just to see how it looks. Second of all, you can't see it right now, but I am currently surrounded by cats, so I am a little afraid they're going to get in the way at any minute. Like Cassie. Hi. You don't like that? Well then, hold on a moment. I can give you love later. So, if you hear any cat noises, that's because of the cats. They're desperate for attention right now, I'm afraid. Anyway, when I mean wrong words, I mean kind of using a word improperly or using a word that doesn't exist at all to try and describe something. And the reason why I bring this up is because in the past I have been known to just completely botch up words. And if you've known me for like a mere year, you would know that I tend to mix up my words, or I tend to make up words, or I tend to not make any sense when I'm talking. So you could probably just ask any one of my friends about that and they'll go, yeah, he's done it a lot before. So an example of me using improper words would be the word vegetable in lieu of I hope I pronounced that word right. Using the word vegetable in lieu of festival. And this story kind of dates back to when I was a little kid and I was at my grandparents' house with my family because we were just like going in between houses, so we found relatives to stay with. My brother was going to school up there and they had an art festival at the school. So I went to that as a little toddler, and as little kids go, they don't exactly know all these fancy words. So I said the closest word I could think of to festival, which was vegetable. And so I would say something about wanting to go to the art vegetable. It's something that my family still makes fun of me for all the way to today, so maybe that kind of gets a little grating, but I don't really know. But here's a little thing about how my mind works. I am really good at associations. I can find differences in pictures, I can find patterns, I can find sequences, and I can do all this stuff very easily, but when it comes to actual letters and numbers, that's when I have more difficulty. Because if a word or a letter has the same prefix or same suffix, my mind starts to think, oh, those two words are synonymous, even if they are not. And this is kind of why history was a very difficult thing for me, because there's all these different names and all these different numbers that I had to memorize, and history was one of my worst subjects, and for good reason. But if I were to have an example of a word that I did not completely understand until I had to look it up multiple times over until I finally got it, it's the word mortify. Now, you've probably already heard of the word mortify, and you probably already know what it means, but I did not for the longest time. So, the way the association worked in this sense was there were two words I associated with. There were two words I associated it with. One was horrify, which horrify means to become scared, and the other one was the Spanish unconjugated verb morir, which means to die. So you have horrify and morir, and my mind put those things together to create mortify, which I thought meant scare to death or scare almost to death, but that's not what it meant. Apparently, mortify means to be extremely embarrassed. And maybe that one's a fault of the English language, or maybe that's literally just me not being good at understanding the words like I wanted to, but it's not exactly something I can help easily. No matter how much I try, no matter how much I keep working at it, I still tend to fall flat when it comes to words and their meanings. People will make fun of me a lot if I use an improper word, rather than just telling me what the proper word would be. They would use that quote from the movie Princess Bride. What was the quote? Anyway, they would use that specific quote rather than just tell me the right word to use. Like, come on people, could you please at least explain what the word means? Or just give me the right word to use instead of questioning my intelligence. It got annoying, if that isn't obvious by how I reacted now. And it's gotten to the point where I get not exactly livid, but more frustrated at how these people treat me because I don't seem to understand the English language as a 23-year-old normally would. Or at least that's how I think it is. But that is a problem that I specifically have. But with that, it kind of does lead me to the question that I did have today, which is, are there any words that you have messed up or have failed to communicate when you were trying to describe something? Or are there any words that you thought meant something but meant something else? An example, my thought of mortify. Anyway, I'd say just let me know down in the comments below if you have any of those. I'd love to hear if I'm not the only person that has this sort of problem. I mean, it's like a cursed blessing, if you will. Like, I'm good at remembering faces and good at all these different artistic things, but when it comes to remembering specific dates or names, I am just terrible at it, and I ask that whoever meets me in real life, please don't get offended if I forget your name. It's hard. Anyway, so just let me know down in the comments below what you think. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that nice little subscribe button. That lets me know that you can continue watching these videos and I can continue making them. Go ahead and hit that playlist button to see if there are any videos you haven't seen before inside the playlist. And then I did actually have an interview with someone, so go ahead and take a look at that if you're interested. So, I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, evening.